Right now, I'm joined live by John Hanna, a senior fellow at the Jewish Institute for National Security of America and National Security Advisor to former Vice President Dick Cheney. Good afternoon.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hamas is expected to release the remaining hostages, some still alive, some dead, in exchange for some 2,000 Palestinian detainees. The mood in Israel tonight described as celebratory, according to one father whose wife and 3 young children were held in Gaza for nearly 50 days. Is this, does this portend all that's yet to come, or do you still say that we need to move forward with trepidation?
Well, I think, listen, the Middle East is kind of the graveyard of peace plans. So I think you've got to be cautious. We've had our hopes dashed so many times over the last 20 to 30 years, but I do think that this major step forward to end this grueling, brutal 2-year war, the entire world, not just Israel, not just the Palestinians, not just the Arabs, the entire world is now finally breathing a collective sigh of relief that we may finally have a real opportunity not only to bring this war to an end, but maybe to begin taking some steps toward a better future for Israelis, for Palestinians, for the Middle East at large. And that's something really to celebrate and to try and take advantage of, despite the hurdles that no doubt exist in pushing forward.
Yeah, and John, if Hamas and Israel can reach a final deal, what happens to Gaza? We look at it literally looking like a pile of rubble in so many places. It would just simply be in limbo.
Yeah, it's a demolition site, as so many people have said. More than 80% of the structures destroyed throughout the Strip. Very little critical infrastructure left. 2 million people hungry, without jobs, without means of revenue. It's going to take a huge, dramatic effort by the entire world. It will take tens of billions of dollars to give these people some renewed hope. And you've got to figure out a way, first and foremost, to actually implement the rest of President Trump's 20-point plan, which kind of begins with getting in a new non-Hamas governing committee of Palestinians overseen by this collective board of peace that President Trump will oversee, an international stabilization force, and most critically, somebody to oversee the disarmament of Hamas and the demilitarization and de-radicalization of Gaza. It is a huge, huge job, and none of it happens with the same kind of role that you've seen President Trump play personally, his own engagement in this process over the last 3 weeks or so. That's now got to be sustained for weeks and months to come, even at a time when he's got to manage the rest of the world and all the challenges we face at home.
And John, this is only one piece of, like you said, this is a Sisyphean task for anyone. But how hopeful are you anytime that you see at least the return of these hostages? But again, you're reminding us that's only one small piece of all of this.
Yeah, but it is a huge accomplishment. And I think with President Trump's engagement, and he really is an X factor here. I mean, this man's by sheer force of will, he's taken advantage of a circumstance with 2 parties that have absolutely zero trust, hate each other, both determined to destroy each other. Israel and Hamas on one side, he's pushed them together. They both want to be with President Trump. They don't want to defy him. And most importantly, I think the president has galvanized the entire Arab world for the first time to maybe take upon their shoulders some responsibility for solving this Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which they've always been very, very reluctant to take any risks to solve this conflict. They much prefer to use it as an excuse to serve their own narrow political interests. If the Arab world has now decided enough is enough, we got to join Israel, the United States, Europe in trying to end this conflict. That's something new that we ought to hold on to and need to drive forward.
And I also believe that, Israel striking Qatar helped to escalate things moving a little bit faster, too. John Hanna, thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.